Well, the Harbour City also got a dose of strange weather, including a rare sight in the waters off the island. Water spouts, 5 of them at least, spotted off Nanaimo yesterday. They are the oceanic version of tornadoes, and they're just as violent. And the lighthouse keeper who warns marine traffic about the spout says instances such as these are all the more reason to keep our lighthouses staffed. A-News Mid-Island Bureau Chief Jonathan Bartlett has the story. He's live in our Mid-Island Bureau. Jonathan.
Hudson, they most likely happen a lot more than they're seen, but they are rare enough and potentially dangerous for any boaters unfortunate enough to be in their path. Lighthouse keepers Glenn Borgens and Richard Mann first noticed the strange cloud formations Thursday morning as they looked north from the entrance island lighthouse towards Texada Island.
We happened to glance up to the west here, northwest, and we saw some really dark clouds, seabees, and those are always exciting. And we kept watching them, and pretty soon we saw this thing dropping out of the bottom of it.
A thinner cone came down from the center of that, and it was very close to the surface of the sea.
What they were witnessing was a rare and violent weather event, a water spout.
It looked like a rat's tail, just all over the place.
Before long, other funnels had appeared, at least 5 before a snow squall obscured their view. Murray Banting also noticed the water spout. He took these photos from the deck of his Nanoose home.
The start of the funnel was very obviously something was going on. It looks just like a giant was putting his hand down through the clouds.
Water spouts are much like tornadoes, but happen over water. This one was seen in Montreal in 2008.
It's energized by the fact that the water at the lower levels is relatively warm in comparison to that very cold air aloft. Once they move away from that relatively warm water, they generally dissipate.
They're definitely not something you'd want to get close to in a boat, which is why the light keepers called the Canadian Coast Guard so they could warn marine and air traffic.
You've got these winds just swirling around, and they can overturn small boats without much effort at all. And of course, aircraft will avoid them like the plague.
A Senate Standing Committee recently investigated the issue of lighthouse destaffing. They report to the Senate this week, recommending Fisheries and Oceans keep the human element, eyes and ears on the water reporting marine hazards, like extreme weather. It's unclear if any high-tech equipment would have spotted the water spouts at all.
They can sort of predict them, they can think about where they are, but they can never tell you for sure whether they're going to develop or not.
Spotting the water spouts and warning the public, perhaps underlining the importance of having staffed lighthouses rather than automated equipment.
There are many things that can be done automatically, but human eyes are necessary to give you the best service.
I won't tell you we're out here all the time looking, but we spend an inordinate amount of time watching and, just keeping tabs on everybody.
Keeping an eye out for weird and dangerous weather and boaters in trouble. I spoke to Jim Abram tonight. He's a former lighthouse keeper and present Strathcona Regional District Director. He tells me he's been fighting fisheries over destaffing since 1985 and says the Standing Senate Committee will wrap up their presentations to the Senate very soon and will pass the report over to the Minister of Fisheries, Gail Shea. She has 150 days to make a decision on whether to destaff lighthouses. Hudson?
All right. Thanks very much, Jonathan Bartlett.
Thank you.